DJI Neo, new release date. Got that coming up next. Bill the Drone Reviewer here. If you like the content of this video or anything on my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night, I hosted Rotor Talk Live and was joined by Mr. Marcus Crawford and Mr. Ron Brown. We spent the better part of the evening discussing all the latest about the DJI Neo, including the specifications, reasons why the DJI Neo wasn't released today, and possible new release dates. So without any further ado, let's roll that clip in its entirety. Talk about the Neo update.
Time, Marcus.
And, I was expecting, I really was, to wake up this morning, have an email, and have an invite from Ron for having a show on this morning, okay? And then, boom, I said, and then DJI sends on an email, what is it? The perfect drone to travel with email.
Yeah, like around 10 a.m.
There it is.
Yeah, the Ron Mini. The Ron
Mini 4K.
The Ron Mini 4K. That's the.
And I don't want to be the guy, the controversial here, but probably, folks, if you just went out and buy the Ron 4K at $299 or whatever, you're gonna have a lot better drone than that Neo.
I wonder about that as well. Hang on, folks. It's the boss calling. I better get it.
You be Frank Wang.
It's Frank Wang.
So like you said, Bill, we kind of expected something this morning. Igor has been promoting this date for a while now, and we got crazy. But we sort of knew yesterday that something was up or whatever.
I went out.
A lot of rumors that got pushed back to September or so on. So the vibes weren't good yesterday, Bill.
I went out to Jasper's account, and it's still the same as it's exactly the same as yesterday. Okay.
It's not like DJI's can hide anything now. I mean, Jasper put it all out there. So I mean,
there wasn't anything there, and then
surprises left.
And then of course, I went out and looked here. DJI Neo, everything we know, and we really covered this really well last night. 4K, 30 frames per second, 22 gigabytes of internal storage, automatic takeoffs and landings from your palm, quick shot photo and video modes, voice control, remoteless flight using nothing but your phone, compatibility with yet to be released RC N2 controller, FPV manual flight when using FPV and Motion 3 controllers and goggles, AI tracking algorithms, level 4 wind resistance and stabilized images video, DJI Mic 2 compatibility for rotor-free audio, 18-minute flight time, claims enough for 20 flights, $299 Australia dollar price tag for possible standard bundle. Okay.
And even runs the dishwasher after dinner for you, Bill.
Yeah, it'll do the dishes for you and it'll take out the garbage. That's what I had to do tonight. That's why I got to get me one of these Neos. Okay. Cut down on my chores.
You need to do to check the gators on out there before you walk out to the garbage can.
Well, yeah, I got to. You know what? Seriously, I got to look under the truck all the time. I can't park the truck in the garage. So
luckily you have a truck and not a low vehicle like Marcus. He'd have to really get down and check under the Corvette.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that my truck sits up. I can look under it and I know we're good. And the other thing I look for, no joke. Okay, I also look for snakes in the driveway too because people see them all the time. And as I said, for some reason right now, okay, and I don't know why, okay, water moccasins are like on sidewalks in driveways, people's yards and stuff. And I don't know why they've
hope the alligators are eating them all up.
Probably because the gators have been active too. And they're usually not, they said the time the gators are active are between sunset and sunup. So, they said, don't go swimming at night is what they say in the ponds. Well, you don't want to go in those ponds anyway. Okay. The chemicals they dump in there. Anyway, we're off track here. Okay.
So, Animal Nation for a minute there, folks.
Animal Nation. Okay. No event announcement yet. The original leaked announcement date was set for August 20th tomorrow, which was today. However, DJI has yet to announce any event announcements on its social platforms. This likely means that DJI will not be announcing any new products tomorrow, or the product will only be available in China. This wouldn't be the first time DJI has left the world on hold while it does an initial launch of a new product overseas. We saw this with the Fly Cart and most of the company's agriculture drones, but both eventually became available to the rest of the world. given the increased popularity of the Hover Air X1 over in China versus outside it, it may also make sense to only make it available there before bringing it everywhere. It also doesn't help that many Western countries are not the most welcome Chinese drone manufacturers at the moment, predominantly here in the United States. Okay, so
Wow.
you know, who knows? As we've said, the only thing that's predictable about DJI is that it's unpredictable. Okay, their marketing strategies, their release, their timing releases. We thought we had, for example, the pattern with the mini releases. Okay, in November. Okay, well, last year screwed all that up. Okay, that was gone. And then they come out with the Air 2S, and the next thing we know, there's an Air 3 right on the heels of that. All right. And, there's a Mavic 3, there's a Mavic 3 Classic, then there's a Mavic 3 Pro. I mean, it just boom, boom, boom.
I can't really hate them in that respect that, just go ahead and release the product when it's ready rather than artificially wait for like a date like Apple. Like Apple has to release the iPhone at a certain time. I mean, that, just release something when it's ready. I mean, don't put it out early. Don't hold it back too late. When it's ready to come out, release it. Marcus,
how dare they keep us guessing? How dare they?
Yeah, how dare they hold back a little Neo drone that we probably don't need anyways?
Well, and here's something to think about. Contemplate this. Okay, does Apple have common stock? I'm not that familiar.
Yeah, you can buy Apple stock. Yeah.
Okay, so. In other words, they have shareholders.
Most wise investors have a little of it, right, Marcus?
I know of some individuals that own some Apple stock. Yeah, very well.
And some folks have even made some money off of over the years, Marcus.
It's possible. It's very possible.
It's possible.
No, sorry, I just couldn't let that go.
No, I don't blame you at all. Yeah. What I'm saying is, okay, they have a set release date that they've been having for years. Okay, on or about that date. And they pretty much stick to it like clockwork with their new phone that's going to be released. And that's something, it's driven by shareholders. Okay. Yeah. They want to see their stock go up. Who doesn't want to see their stock go up? Okay. I want to see public stock go up. That's what I have interest in big time. Okay. When that stock goes up, it makes money for me. So of course, absolutely. Okay. So here, okay. And with DJI, there are no stockholders. It is not publicly traded out there. Okay. It's internal. Most of that company is owned by Frank Wang, and some banks are part of it too, but they're minority owners.
Is that more common of a Chinese owned company, Bill?
I think so. I think when I say banks, okay, the banks are probably owned by the government. All right. So it's not. So the government does have some stakes in DJI.
And of course, some of our U.S. Congress people believe that the Chinese military mostly owns DJI.
No, it's the government.
Even said that. They've even said that DJI's prices are low because the Chinese military helps make those prices low, so they sell a bunch of them.
Well, I think that what it is here, okay, is that. They don't have to answer to a board, to stockholders. Okay. They can kind of do what they want to do. Okay. Yeah. Apple is pretty driven here. Okay. They have to have that release on that date in September every year. Okay. Like clockwork. Okay. Yes. And they're talking like this time it's the best iPhone ever.
Yeah, they always get there. Say it's the best iPhone we've ever made. They say that every year.
It's the most improved and the best iPhone.
I to say, you know what? It's not all that good this year, but buy it anyways.
Yeah, we haven't really done a whole lot since last year. It has a little bit of a better camera, but hey,
we got a new color.
We got a new super titanium, gold, purple, blue, whatever. Just, they'll do what they can. They'll put their spin on it, but it's done like clockwork. They follow a pattern. DJI does not follow a pattern. Okay. They never have, and ever since I've been, the last 7 or 8 years following them, they really don't follow. I put a spreadsheet together about 3 or 4 years ago, and I was looking at release dates and what was released, and it was consumer drone focused, and it really, even at that point in time, it did not follow any kind of a pattern. Okay. Or cycle.
It's almost like they're trying to make a profit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I majored in business, and one of the things that we learned was, from the professor who was fantastic. He ran his own business, so he really had firsthand knowledge. Is you plan things, you plan things ahead. You release things on a schedule, and you kind of geared towards tying in your research and development, marketing, the whole ball of wax, and you stick to that schedule because you want to make your investors happy and everything. Well, DJI doesn't do that because they don't have that in those investors. They don't have stockholders, and they don't.
More importantly, you don't have any direct competition, really.
Yeah, they are like Ma Bell. Ma Bell didn't have any competition back in the day, and they ran roughshod all over the place until the government got a hold of them and broke them up. Right. But with DJI, you're right, Ron. I mean, they have zero competition. They really do.
Yeah, Apple has to compete with Samsung, but there is no Samsung in the drone world.
Right. Absolutely right.
Well, Samsung could be in the drone world if they chose to be, but
I really wish Samsung would, because I think they'd be successful with this. But
if you have enough money and engineers to throw at a problem, you can solve everything, is what somebody once told me.
Oh yeah, you throw enough money at it, we'll solve it. I think now, it's like what, I'll say this. I'll say, you know what? We may not see this till September. Okay. All right. And then tonight we get the email. Okay. It says like a Thursday date or something like that. I'll go out and I'll say something, and then DJI will send that email out tonight because Frank's watching and listening to us right now.
I got a new rumor, Bill. I think DJI, they heard us talking about that coming out, and they purposely held it back to mess up us drone channels.
Yeah, they want to put the screws to the to Drone Nation and Bill the Drone Reviewer and Johnny Drone Flyer and Captain Ray and everybody else,
especially Johnny Drone Flyer, especially.
Oh,
yeah.
Whoa.
Hey, so here's the deal. DJI is they're geniuses at marketing. They leak all this stuff out, and they we're talking about it right now. They get everybody in a big kerfuffle over whatever their leak little dribs and drabs out of there. And our experience has been that the more information that comes out, the closer we are to the actual release of the drone. But, it'll also tell you that they probably send out a fair amount of misinformation along with the real stuff, right? And so all these people that are speculating, we all saw the spreadsheet that said September 20th. Well, clearly, either A, that individual, who was that, Igor, either A, he made it up, possible, right? Right, he wants to seem like he knows something that he really doesn't, or B, whatever information he got from his quote contact at DJI was purposely giving him misinformation. DJI, they're just going to release it when it's ready to go and when they have stock. I mean, there's a lot of things to consider. They got to have stock in the stores. They've got to have everything ironed out as far as issues. Often there can be a last minute problem with a product, and maybe they want to make sure that that's corrected as well. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So
yeah, one of the scenario, Marcus, that 20th could have been a release date, say on July 1st, but it's not like DJI can't change that date. So maybe Igor had a leak of what the date was at one time,
right?
And it got pushed back for any number of reasons, maybe some software issues or whatever. It could be any reason. But again, that could be an old release date that has changed. And DJI has their right to change the release date as many times once since it's not announced.
However they please, yeah.
Especially since it's not on paper. It's not announced. It's not formally announced. So,
Well, you see what Zach said right here? Didn't Lon say on Sunday the reviewers have their letters but no Neo yet? So,
yes, that means we're looking deep into September then, Bill, before that drone comes out.
Yeah, because they're going to need
time for Christmas, guys. What if it's November?
Oh, yeah, they're going.
Why don't we just get the Neo, the Air 3S? Why don't we get all the drones in the same week or whatever? They should all just put it all out in the same week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Johnny's comment.
Yeah, I know. Mike Wright, my friend Mike Wright, he actually respects me, and I so appreciate him. Johnny, on the other hand, gosh darn, he is a what do they call it? A PETA, and I'll let you figure out what that stands for.
we had a Chihuahua who I called a PETA. Okay, yeah. We love you, Johnny. Okay, well, I will say this: we love you here at Bill the Drone Reviewer. All of us do.
Yeah, I was
Even
going to say,
Marcus.
speak for yourself.
Yeah, but if it's true what Zach had said that they don't even have it yet, all right. Well, that changes the whole ball game. They're going to need a minimum of probably at least 4 weeks to test it, I would imagine,
and make their release videos.
Make release videos, absolutely. I mean that you can't. That's not something then you can get and do some videos over the weekend and then slap. No, that's not going to work.
So then, I could whip a video together in a weekend. Marcus,
I could absolutely do that as well too. But these guys are going to want to put out 4 or 5 good videos, and they're going to need time to do that and time to test it. And because this is going to be a drone that when we get them to test them, okay, it's going to involve, we're going to want to test it using a phone. We're going to test it using a hand controller. Those of you that have goggles and are going to want to test it using goggles as well too. There's just a whole
lot to do. Yeah.
Range of tests with this.
If you see, what's his name? Aldrin riding around, follow him around and see if he's flying it.
That's true. Potato Jet. He's another one. Okay. He's going to get
but Aldrin's the one's going to have 10 videos out the first day. Potato Jet's going to make 1 video about it and you'll never see it again on his channel.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, I've tried a few times to ping Rick Smith and get him to come on. And, it's usually, he will always answer my emails after a release has happened. Okay. But before a release, he's probably under NDA. Okay. And that's why I've been trying to get some of these guys to come on and I've been getting crickets from them. And the reason I've been getting crickets is because they're probably under NDA and they can't say anything right now. And,
right.
And who knows, they may even be testing the Air 3S or Air 4 for all we know, that may have gone out to them already. So who knows what's going on right now. But I know I haven't had any luck getting some of these guys on, notably Rick Smith, trying to get him on the show because they're probably under NDA and they can't say anything right now.
Yes, probably more than likely.
Mike
with the inside scoop.
Yeah. At least Amazon graphics and text seem to be ready. Yeah. Johnny.
Well, we can't release it now until Marcus gets back from Hawaii, right? We got a whole What date do you get back from the Big Island?
On the 2nd of September. But to your point, Ron, I really was hoping that I'd be able to get a hold of it this week so that I could take it.
I was too.
Yeah, but it just is what it is. Yeah.
Just get some footage of some other drone, and when you get back, say, I shot this with the Neo.
There you go. Yeah.
Our friend here has a good point, Casey Crime Fighter. DJI Smart, they'll put some space between these drones, starting with the Neo, because it's the cheapest, so we can all save up our money to get them all. And he's right. It ends up, if you're crafty enough, you can go ahead. Not everybody can afford to be able to get all these drones, and you have to get creative. And that's why one of the things right now, you probably all have noticed, my Mini 4 Pro is up for sale. Okay. Because, out with the old, in with the new kind of a thing. Also selling my Spectre Mini as well too now.
Hey, Bill, can I respond to Angel's comment there about some guy over YouTube posting Neo versus Avata 2 comparisons, suppose they're fake? Okay, if Angel, if you're watching a video and somebody's doing a comparison and they never show you the drone, they only show you the video of the drone, then they don't have the drone.
Right.
Well, Waypoint New England, Lon is guessing as much as we are. All right. And as far as accurate information is concerned, we base our information, we make disclaimers all the time. We give no guarantees about what we come out here and tell you guys. Okay.
All we ever did is repeated what Igor posted on his Twitter account last month.
Yeah. We don't, we don't.
Igor has a track record of being right in these things. This time he wasn't.
Igor and Jasper.
He's not batting 1,000 anymore, Bill.
Yep. He's not batting 1,000. And well, who else has been conspicuously silent about this is Osita. Haven't seen anything from him at all.
He's been silent for a long time.
Yeah.
They're all reliant on leaked information, and they it's somebody that works inside the company someplace that's leaking it out. You have to figure that it's DJI probably doing it on purpose. And I suspect, like I said, that they send a certain amount of misinformation to make it sound legit and keep us guessing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things, this is not an exact science. And I know several years ago, and I think it was when the Mavic 2 was coming out, Original Dobo and I, about the same time, we both put out a video. He did his own, I did mine, but we collaborated on it. We put videos out, and we found out that all the information that we were getting was not good. It was from Osita, and it wasn't good. And we had to issue retractions on that. We kind of had to eat some crow. And it was from that point in time on forward, I made disclaimers, when we're going out there and we're telling you this information, okay? This is based on information that's out there, that's available to the public. We dig into it. We take a look at it. We also have our ears to the ground to see if we hear anything else regarding this, okay? This is the best. This is a best guesstimate, okay? We don't make any claims. We don't make any promises. Nothing is concrete until DJI puts it out there and it's out on their website.
So, Bill, I missed that part. Who did you say that you had both released about the same time? Video about the same time?
Oh, Dobo and I. And it was about the Mavic 2. That was, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah,
both he and I were putting it, and it was Osita, and he put out some bad info, okay? Which, and I'm going to make a comment about that, okay? These leaks come DJI blesses these leaks. In other words, they know these leaks are happening. They want these leaks to happen, okay? And they filter them out. They'll filter them out to people like Jasper or Igor or Osita or a combination of all three of them, and they get out there, and that's how we see these leaks, okay? And without that, we really don't have any accurate information, because if any of the people who the key influencers like Ken or Billy or or other ones out there, Rick Smith, they're under non-disclosure agreements, okay? They cannot say anything about it, because if they do, boom, they're not going to get any more product from DJI to test. It's as simple as that, okay? So they can't say anything. So leaks can't come from them. But we give you the best information that we have and what's available to us, okay? We're as disappointed as everybody else right now. We wanted something to go today.
Bill, who do you think has this to test right now?
Right now, okay.
Yeah.
I think your key influencers probably have them now. Like Billy and Ken and Rick Smith and Aldrin and others. Okay, I think they have them right now, and I think they're probably starting to test them now. But I think we're a ways out. I'm going to say we're probably looking a month from now. That's my guess right now.
Let me throw this at you, Bill. So, because this is a selfie drone, what if they're throwing it at not traditional drone reviewers? What if they're throwing it at, these channels that do their lifestyle videos and all that kind of stuff, because, they want to show that this is a drone that those kind of influencers can use.
A drone for non-drone flyers.
Yeah, I'm thinking of some of those girls that have fashion channels and things like that, they can do a little shot or whatever. Or
Yeah.
some of the travel vloggers,
A travel vlogger that doesn't necessarily get drone travel footage, but they like a little elevated selfie of themselves or something.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think Marcus has a good point. Remember when the Skydio 2 came out and they marketed to bicyclists and motorcyclists more than traditional drone reviewers, Bill?
Ron, I think you nailed it. I don't think Skydio ever wanted that drone to necessarily be for drone enthusiasts like us. I think they wanted it just for for sports enthusiast tracking, just like you said. I don't think it was ever intended for regular.
Because that's the problem with the afterthought. They wanted that to be a Thomas drone. They didn't want anybody like basically flying with sticks.
Right.
That's a real good point, guys. About Skydio. It really is. And and to be honest with you right now, because of I think the key influencers have probably just gotten the product this week. I think we're probably about a month out. I think this has nothing to do with inventory. I think the inventory is already out there. It's already sitting at Amazon's warehouse and Best Buy's, at Adorama, at B&H. I think it's all there. That's not the issue. The issue is it has to go through through the key influence testing and getting that out there. And you made a good point about, getting them in the hands of some of these TikTok artists and Instagram artists who use that as a medium, because, that's where the selfies, you see a lot of selfies being used there. However, I still think you're going to see, you'll probably see a few influencers there, but they'll still probably center on the drone influencers, because they know how to fly it. They know how to operate it. They're versed with it as we are as well too. So I think, because I think a lot of the TikTokers and a lot of the Instagrammers, okay, it's going to overwhelm them. All right. Versus you hand something like that to a Billy or a Ken or Rick Smith or Aldrin, it's not going to overwhelm them. They'll be able to digest it, understand it, and get that information to the TikTokers and to the Instagrammers and all those people. So I think it's kind of a combination. I think you'll see some of them have that, but I think for the most part, you're still going to have your regular key influencers out there testing this before it's released.
And let's make another point here. I'll go to Marcus on this. With the drones we already own now, we'll say the Mini 4 Pro, any of the modern DJI Mini drones, we could do all the maneuvers that these selfie drones do with our DJI Mini drones, right? As of right now, any move they could do, we could move with the drone we already own.
Depending on what you're talking about,
well, I mean, a selfie or orbit yourself, or do a drone to yourself, or all the basic 4 or 5 moves that the selfie drones have.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things though that this brings to the table that I was kind of surprised was tracking, and they're bragging about how good the tracking, AI tracking they call it. So that's going to be fascinating.
But we have it on our DJI Modern Minis. We have the draw the box active track type thing
on the Pro, on the Mini 3 Pro. The first Mini to have it was the Mini 3 Pro, and then the Mini 4 Pro. Now my point is that DJI has never put tracking on a drone that did not have obstacle avoidance. This one does not, so it's interesting.
Mark, you weren't here earlier, but when Bill was reading the specs for the new, not the current hover, but the new hovers that are crowdfunded now, either one or both of them have obstacle avoidance.
They do or they do not?
They do. They do. Not the current one, but the ones that are kind
the
of
obstacle avoidance will be to the side and to the back, sides and the back.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
So, we'll kind of see that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I would, and I'll say this, with all you guys in the chat, and by the way, great chat tonight. You guys making a lot of great comments out there, and you're doing a fantastic job. We're every bit as anxious and frustrated as you guys are. Okay. It's something, this has been a bright spot for us, because of the doom and gloom talk with the drone ban and everything. This has been something we've been looking forward to, and in the Action 5 as well too. But and then all of a sudden, nothing. We get nothing burger yesterday, nothing today, and like I said, right now at this point, I think it'll probably be a month easily before we see something. So,
but we're all just guessing. It could be a month. It could be tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? That's just a guesstimate on my part, but who knows? Maybe we can get that email tonight, and they'll do it Thursday or Friday or whenever. Who knows? Question of the day: what did you think of DJI Neo new release date? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.